The dragon only guards the treasure. Remember that. Last year, I was watching an episode of the Diary of a CEO podcast hosted by Steven Bartlett, and Steven was interviewing Trevor Noah. And in the interview, I will never forget, first, I felt like something about Steven's energy was off. It was different. Like, I'm not off in a negative way. It was just different than it usually is. And I was so curious, like, what's going on? Like, what's happening beneath the surface? Because over here, like you, we are deeple. Okay, we are deep people. We did not come here for the surface level. So it's a great interview, great conversation. It has like 7 million views on YouTube alone. But I just felt like something energetically was not the same. I don't watch like every single episode of Diary of a CEO, but I've watched a few. And I'm an empath. I'm a sensitive. I'm an intuitive. So I was like, something's going on. I must know. Now, this episode is 2 hours and 39 minutes. And at 2 hours and 36 minutes, finally, this happened.
No, but for real, I'm like, congratulations.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Over.
And I can't tell you how much of an honor this was. Sometimes I get quite nervous to interview people, and you're one of the
wow,
people
thank you.
that I got nervous to because I respect you so much. So thank you so much, Trevor, for the time. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
This, to me, is such a beautiful and vulnerable moment between two Black men who are highly regarded and respected in their respective fields, sharing a moment of mutual recognition, admiration, love, dare I say. And I found it really beautiful. I also want to commend Steven Bartlett in this moment for vulnerably expressing his nerves. I think that takes so much courage to say while you're in front of someone, in front of what you know will be millions of people, that you were nervous to do exactly what you're already doing. I think we need to see more of that. I think so many people, when we face fear or nerves or tension or the sense that something's not good enough, we think that we're doing something wrong. And that's part of why I'm making this video, to show you that even someone who outwardly has so much success, so many people watching and listening to him, who is highly regarded. And just before this moment, Trevor is sharing how much he respects the Diary of a CEO and what Steven has built. And I think it's so powerful to say, yes, I've built all of this, but I also get nervous, and I'm nervous right now as I'm doing this, and I'm allowing myself to be witnessed in that. I think that just to me is so beautiful, and we need more examples of that, because it really goes against how we've been programmed to think about creativity, about pursuing your dreams, about these high pressure people and environments and how they feel doing their work. And it's so important for us to witness these moments of vulnerability so that we can recognize them within ourselves, and that we're actually not that different from the people we admire most. And just to remind ourselves that some of our greatest, the opportunities that we are calling in so deeply, that we're envisioning in this blissful state, will also ask us to sit with the nerves and the fear and the resistance. And the resistance is part of the dream. We don't get to live the dream without facing resistance. And I feel so passionately about your dreams and their ability to unlock our dreams as a collective. Your dream creation is also our dream creation, in the sense that whatever you dream of giving to us, we actually dream of receiving. And I have many different soul sessions on this, but I wanted to include this clip. I'm actually including it after finishing the soul session, just to commend the vulnerability here. Okay. I cannot tell you how much I've thought about this ever since, because so many of us live under the illusion that if we were to live our dreams, if we were to do something at the highest scale possible, which may or may not be your dreams, if you were to speak on that stage you've been dreaming of, or host that event or retreat, or be on your favorite podcast, or create a podcast that has a studio and a team, release an album, have your dream business that allows you to quit your job and live an abundant life while offering your soul's truth to the world. Whatever your dream is, we all have this illusion that once we get there, the fear will dissipate, the nerves will dissipate, and everything will just be pure bliss. And it's such an illusion that stops us from pursuing our dreams. The fact that in this interview, Steven Bartlett, who is by all external measurements, this is a highly popular, highly listened to podcast all over the world. And the fact that he is interviewing Trevor Noah, so these two people are very highly respected in their respective fields, and he feels nervous, and yet he's doing it anyway, I think breaks this illusion that there is this place called the absence of fear, and the purpose of your dream is essentially to get there. It's not the case. And there was this other interview between Trevor Noah and Esther Perel. So we all know Trevor Noah is an incredible comedian. He's South African. And he has a podcast, which is really funny, especially the ones with his friends. Oh my word, they're very insightful and also hilarious. So I feel he's also a philosopher. He's like an incredible speaker. I find his way of expressing just so fascinating, and you always will learn something from him. But essentially, this is between him and Esther Perel, who I also love. She is a relationship therapist. She's written The State of Affairs, amazing book, which I love. And what's the other book called? Mating in Captivity, which I also love. So an incredible thinker on relationships, infidelity, and so forth. And just an amazing speaker and thinker as well. But in their interview, she's talking about how she gets stage fright.
That's why I'm asking which one you actually have. Is it nerves or is it stage fright?
I have both.
Wow, I can't imagine you having stage fright.
I have stage fright, and I feel like
Oh, your throat closes.
Yes.
Huh.
And then at moments I think I see blank, like I can't remember a thing. And the minute I talk to someone, like we came on,
Yeah.
I had stage fright before, but the moment
Even
I-
here?
Yes,
Wow.
but the minute I'm in conversation, I get grounded by the presence of the other.
And it's so fascinating to me because she's like at this level of being outwardly successful that you would think she's sort of like transcended stage fright because everyone wants to hear what she says. She's one of those highly sought after people. And so again, we have the illusion of this place called the absence of fear. So what I want to use these examples to really demonstrate to you, my love, is if you're afraid of being seen, of starting a project, of finishing a project, of launching a project, of selling it, of telling someone you love them. I know one of you is secretly in love with one of your best friends and you are waiting to confess your love to this person, but you're certain they're going to reject you. Babes, I know you're afraid, but fear means it is your destiny. The dragon only guards the treasure. The reason why you're so afraid is the same reason why the dancer is afraid to go out and perform. She's nervous. She feels like, what if she messes up? What if she forgets the moves? Like, what if she goes blank? It's because it is her divine doing that there is nerves there. She cares so much about her dance, her performance, that she's nervous. And sometimes we back away from this feeling of tension or fear or anxiety because we're like, no, this must mean I'm not meant to do it. For example, with the fear of being seen, before you record something, even though it's just you in a room, you feel terrified. Like it feels like something may be attacking your nervous system. It can be very dysregulating. And then there can be the idea that, oh, I'm so afraid that maybe this means this is not my path. Maybe this means I'm doing the wrong thing, or I'm doing it wrong, or why am I so afraid to hit submit on this essay? Or if you're starting a creative project you've dreamed of, why is this so scary? It's because the dragon only guards the treasure. Put differently, your ego resists what your soul insists on. Your ego resists starting or trying or being seen, not wanting to be humiliated, but your soul insists on this dream because it's your soul's vision. And so when we're so committed to something larger than our fear, which I feel like in this case of Steven Bartlett, he was nervous to interview Trevor, but he's so insistent on the vision that he has for the Diary of a CEO podcast that he said yes to the nerves that day. And Trevor says this in his interview with Esther Perel. It's the same as the athlete going out to the field or the singer about to sing. Like the nerves are part of what we sign up for. We are here as expressions of life, which means we stretch for what gives us more life, which means we will lean towards those same aspects of reality that do make us nervous, because those nerves, that energy of deep care about something, of wanting to do it right, of wanting to devote yourself to it, that makes life more alive. That expands life through you. And so if you're afraid to start, to finish, to stop, to quit, to walk away, to confess your love, to be seen on the internet or off the internet, I want to remind you that it is just an indication that you are doing your soul's work, that the dragon is guarding the treasure for you, and it's saying you need to face me in order for you to actually be the person that this dream is here to invite you to become. Like the dream wants us to grow through the dream, I believe. And so what if the fear that you feel about being seen, about posting on Instagram or posting on YouTube or growing a YouTube channel or starting your podcast, it's because in this lifetime you are supposed to be face to face with that exact fear, with that exact dragon, and befriend that dragon. I don't even really believe in slaying the dragon. I believe that all of this is part of our human experience, and we came here also to be alive to the fear. And so to befriend that dragon so that you can reach that beautiful treasure of the dream. And that the treasure is going to feel even that much more sweet and delicious, knowing that you needed to befriend the dragon in order to reach it. I remember in Elizabeth Gilbert's book, Big Magic, she says this one thing that I will never forget. She says that if you are unwilling to face fear, you will always live a life that is too small for you. If you are unwilling to face fear in your craft, in your relationships, having difficult conversations, telling someone you love them, apologizing in a sincere way, even complimenting someone can bring out fear if you're doing it on a deep way of like, I really admire this in you. If you're unwilling to face that fear, you will always live a life, a creative life, a relational life that you know, and that knowing will cause deep suffering and pain is too small for you. So whether it is the fear of being seen, the fear of starting a project, the fear of publishing it, the fear of telling someone the truth, the fear of having a difficult conversation, the fear of performing, getting on stage, the fear of quitting something that is no longer aligned to you, the fear is an indication that your soul is insisting on you taking that path anyways. And your ego is resisting because your ego does not trust just how resilient you are, just how powerful you are, just how capable you are of alchemizing and transmuting pain into expansion, into growth, into healing for others. Like all your lessons that you go through become lessons for the collective that we can learn through you. So I want you to remember that everyone you admire and people you don't, but that you see succeeding in their craft, in their field, feels afraid. The difference is how they choose to respond to that fear. The difference is that they insist on their vision, even in, and perhaps especially in, the face of fear. Because the guests that probably, in this case, Steven Bartlett wants to interview most for his show are probably the same guests that he's most terrified to interview. Again, the dragon only guards the gold. The dragon only guards the treasure. So if you were to imagine your absolute dream scenario like this, maybe you're a podcast host and you want to interview someone, your dream author, your dream speaker, and they're on your show tomorrow. Would it not invoke fear? Of course it would. If you dream of speaking on a stage, but that happened tomorrow, tonight when you went to bed, would you be like, ta-da-da, I'm speaking on a stage tomorrow? You would probably feel afraid. So your ability to sit with and be present with fear and choose that action anyway, knowing it's already chosen you. It's already chosen you. That is why, as much as you may try and resist your desire, it will find its ways to communicate to you and express itself through you. And sometimes you only listen to your desires in the form of envy and comparison. And so that's often how your desire will then speak to you through, oh my God, look at what they're doing. Look at how they're expressing. Look at how they're showing up. I want that. And your desire is trying to knock down so many doors just to get through to you, to say, you want this. You want this. And this wants you. So please know we are rooting for you. Your future listeners, readers, your future clients, your future collaborators, mentors, peers, the people who will be touched by you and changed by you. We are rooting for you to befriend this dragon, to walk towards the fear, to be nervous and do it scared and do it anyway. As Audre Lorde has taught us, some level of fear will always be involved in us taking aligned action towards our dreams, collectively and individually. So when we, as she says, transform silence, the lack of saying anything, the lack of creating anything, into language, into action, expressing a truth, writing the poem, telling someone you love them, advocating for oppressed peoples of all kinds, whatever your transformation, silence into language and action is, it will involve fear. But the purpose, she says in that essay, is not to avoid fear, but to put it into a perspective. And that ultimately, the most terrifying thing of all, as we heard in the Elizabeth Gilbert quote, is really the life that we will lead if we don't get used to confronting fear. Because this would mean you're not in your dream relationship, because that will always involve fear. It will always involve you needing to be vulnerable in ways that are scary, needing to express yourself in ways that are scary, needing to apologize or take ownership over your actions or doing things that are scary. Your dream relationship is not without fear. Okay, fear of rejection. How can we love anyone if we're not willing to sit with the fear that they may reject us. Terrifying. The dragon guards the treasure. And then in our craft, being brave enough to make what feels true to us and stand in our expression and stand in our power and say, yes, people may judge me, people may laugh at me, people may cancel me, and yes, I still choose this. And still I choose this. And still I choose expression. And still I choose creativity. And still I choose to be seen. Why? Because I'm committed to honoring my soul's vision. And because I'm committed to being of service to the collective, just as the collective has been of service to me, just as artists have inspired me, just as podcasters have educated me, just as singers have nourished me, just as thinkers have expanded my mind, just as activists have created healing within me, just as there's this long lineage of creators, artists, visionaries who have inspired me into more love, into more creativity, into more action, loving action. Just as they have nourished me, so I nourish, so I give. And so my darling, my love, do it scared. I say this in my ebook, The Soulful Visibility Guide, which is available for free on my website. If you fear being seen, this guide is here to support you. But otherwise, my love, we all face fear. And so my hope is that this helps you see that whatever scale that people are honoring their creative vision on, honoring their truth on, there is fear involved. Nothing insulates us from this human emotion. And actually, because you're a sensitive being, you've come here to be alive to everything. You are part of the antenna of the collective, which means you are here to feel. So you will feel the bliss, you will feel the joy, you will feel the magic of creation and visibility. But you will also feel the pain, the nerves, the tension involved in this path. And we do not get to have the light without the shadow. But trust that your soul has chosen this path for a reason, that in spite of all the fear involved, in spite of what could go wrong, this desire continues to express itself to you because it is part of your soul's vision for your life here on earth. It is part of what you are here to offer. It is part of what you are here to embody. It is part of what you are here to heal within the collective. Not everyone feels drawn to share themselves. Not everyone feels drawn to speak. Not everyone feels drawn to express, to share, to teach the way that you are. Not everyone feels drawn to transform lives the way that you are. So you've been given this desire to express and teach and share and create for a reason. And it is yours to honor. Walk the path that is true to you and know that none of us can control what happens next. But we can say that in this lifetime, I honored my soul's calling. I honored the creative ideas that pulled on my heartstrings, that stayed circulating in my heart and my mind and my body. I said yes to life, which means necessarily, my love, I said yes to fear. I love you so much, my darling. Befriend that dragon. And again, if you would like support, you can visit ayandastood.com and receive your free Soulful Visibility Guide. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. And I want to just end by saying I was nervous before recording this. The nerves were there, and so was the excitement, the possibility, the eros, the shadow, and the light. And we are here to live both. We are here to live the fullness of our dreams. Your soul insists on what your ego resists. I was nervous before recording this because it is my soul's work and my soul's offering to the collective. I was nervous before recording this, but I have learned that if I'm committed to something bigger than my fear, which in my case is my vision, then the path will reveal itself to me. And all I need to do is continue to say yes, even if it is a fearful yes. The dragon only guards the treasure. And you are treasure, and we are dreaming of you. We are dreaming through you. We are dreaming of your art, your ideas, your teachings, your lessons. We're dreaming of receiving your unique perspective on this earth experience. And we cannot wait to experience and delight in your gifts. I love you so much, and I will see you on the next soul session. I love you. Bye. My darling, my love, my soul sibling, thank you for stepping into the Soul Salon. If you are still hearing or watching this, we are soul siblings. We are resonating on the same frequency. And so something you may struggle with, that I struggle with, is the fear of being seen. You know that visibility is involved in you living your creative purpose and being in your power, serving the collective through your gifts, through your magic, through your medicine. In order to do that, you know you need to be more seen than you are allowing yourself to be right now. I have a gift just for you, heart-made for us on this frequency, and it is a free ebook called The Soulful Visibility Guide. That is soulful visibility. Like, we don't just want to be seen, we want to be felt, we want to be heard, we want to move and be moved. So I do have a free gift for you, and all you need to do is go to my website, ayandastood.com, and there you will be able to input your email address and receive this directly to your inbox. This is such a juicy and delicious guide, and I change the free offering every few months, so get it while you can. All the links are in the show notes. So thank you so much. I love you, and I will see you on the next soul session. Okay, I love you. Bye.